Hey, my wonderful Pisces placements. Christina here, Ginger Mama, coming at you with your extended month of January Tarotscope. I apologize, it is behind. I have restructured how I do the Tarotscopes. Excuse me. Maybe some of you called to communicate this month, Pisces. Before we jump on to the downloads, though, I have decided to do just each zodiac sign. So whether you're a masculine or feminine energy, this message is for you. Feel free to tap in also with your moon or your rising, possibly your Venus placement sign as well. If you hold like any large areas in your chart, such as a stellium is what it's called, you might look into that as well. And so we're going to dive into it though. When I was channeling for you, it was like this feeling of someone hitting like a cruise control button, like on their car, right? You're just someone, I feel like you've been cruising at this speed, whatever it is, really fast, really slow, but in some area of your life. And right now the universe is like, no, we're getting rid of cruise control. We're getting rid of that. You need to start learning when to excel, when to slow down. You need to learn that lesson for yourself. And it feels like almost scary, like you were really depending on that cruise control kind of energy. And with me coughing there with that throat chakra, you might be really being pushed to speak a truth right now. Yeah, it's like temperance reversed, like you're feeling a little impatient and you're really overthinking things right now, okay, Pisces? And it's like we just had a full moon on the 6th in the sign of Cancer, which is a fellow water sign of yours. And so that might have hit you significantly, especially if you also hold Cancer placement in your astrology chart. But it's like that feeling of like what emotions are coming up in you. Are you uncomfortable? Are you at peace? Like what parts of yourself were you really like certain about? You were on cruise control about? What parts of your identity were you so certain about? Whether this is work or love, whatever it might be, your spirituality, you were like, I know this is right. I know this is real. And the universe is like, hold on. Do we know all the answers? Do we really know ourselves? Let's go back in and like dive into those emotions and see. Let's check in with where we are now. Do we need to address and adjust that cruise control and learn how to go forward and back and like drive without it? Do you know what I'm saying? The other word that kept coming in was like despair. I normally don't get just a word, but that kept coming in and my phone just dings. There might be a feeling of despair around some type of communication right now where maybe you're seeing something online or you're struggling to communicate your truth. It just feels like this feeling of like, it's not going to get better. It's not going to get better. It's going to be okay, everybody. Low back pain might also be significant, really low in your back. This month, tap in with what that might be trying to tell you, especially around that sacral and that root chakra. Is there energy that needs to be cleared here? Trauma or abuse or sexual ties we have towards other people. Anytime we have sexual interactions with anyone, we are picking up energetic fragments and cords of their pain and their trauma as well. And it sits within the body. And this is why we need to be very mindful of who we're hooking up with and why. And it's not that we can't hook up with people, but we need to make sure it's really in a conscious connection where the energy frequency is aligned and genuine and true and not from a wounded place. Okay. Let's backpedal a little bit. We talked about the full moon in Cancer already. At the beginning of this month on the 2nd, we had Venus entering the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius energy is all about this idea of collective service, understanding the collective. We're also in the age of Aquarius. It's a very beautiful energy when healed. It really taps in with how do I serve the collective. And so Venus is the planet of love. It's also the planet of money, though. So many of you this month might be really asking, okay, are my relationships with all kinds of people, right? Friends, family, lovers, is this too free floaty? Am I blurring the lines here in some way? Or are these connections, healthy for me and I need to continue to stay the course, and really evaluating that for yourself. Same with work, right? Like, am I really in a place with my career where I really feel like I'm really happy and I'm doing what really makes me passionate, okay? This month, multiple significant transits have occurred, but one of the ones I find the most interesting is Mars has been in retrograde in the sign of Gemini, which is about communications, contracts, since October 30th, and it comes to a close here, that retrograde period, on January 12th, so just in a couple of days. And so we need to ask, what did we learn? Mars is the planet of passion, desire, okay? And so that also is not just like sexual passion that we feel. This is also passion we feel onto ourselves, the collective, in work. What drives us forward? What do we desire, right? And if something is causing despair or a hopeless feeling within you, then that is your cue to pull away from it. It is not meant for you. If you're uncomfortable around someone else's energy and they're not bringing clarity to you, that's your cue to peace out, the hermit upright, okay? Don't just ghost though, don't just run, but speak the truth. This isn't working for me. Why are you not communicating? Okay, you're ghosting me. I'm going to take that as a sign to go inward and heal with spirit, okay? I'm going to follow this shiny lantern of truth that I'm finding within myself and the higher realms. Many of you possibly visions, third eye, crown chakra activation, or dream state being activated highly right now. If you're struggling with dreaming, definitely drink some water before bed. Consider setting an alarm for the middle of the night so you remember more of that. And feel free to look up those dream meanings or take some notes on them. And you can always work with someone to gain more clarity on that. I do have an offering in my service list of dream interpretation combined with the tarot. So if you feel called. But yeah, that retrograde period is going to end, and we're also going to come out of what's called Mercury retrograde. I've had a lot of retrogrades. Mercury retrograde has been in the sign of Capricorn. This is about communication. Now, not just communication when it comes to love, it can be, or friendships or family. This can also be communication around work. But it does feel like for you, Pisces, there's this feeling here of the devil reverse. You're not trying to be dark. You're really trying to discern who you're giving time, energy, and attention to. But you need to be very, very clear with your boundaries here. Very, very clear about what you want. If something is done, allow it to be done. Do not take another risk on this. If you know it's done, then say it's done and be done. And be like, I'm not taking that back in my energy. I'm not taking that back in real life. I am done for good. Okay, if something's not done or you're unsure, you need to review that coming out of this retrograde period. What did we learn since October 30th? What have we learned since the end of December as we've been in this Mercury retrograde period? Yeah, because many of you, you have soulmate love. You really do. But it's stalled out because it's like this lack of trust with the universe. Also, finances could be an issue. Really tapping in with that. What is equal give and take? What is soulmate love to me, right? Is it emotional vulnerability and truth and all of this? Or is it like financial gifting? Like I almost feel like you're at this place where you're stuck because you're not understanding the duality and balance within that. Or like you're so focused on love that you're not focused on like, what do I need to do to embody what it is I'm trying to call in, right? When we desire a really higher form of connection or intimacy or love with a partner or someone new, we need to make sure we're embodying that same frequency. If we want somebody that's really great with their finances, really spiritual, really honest in communication, whatever it is, fiery in the bedroom, like, do we embody those things on our own, right? My cat meows, like maybe cat's significant this month for you. I feel like especially larger cats, like the lion energy, almost this feeling of pacing, like you're really like, I don't know what I want. You do. You do. It's just you got to get through that uncomfortable feeling and understand what you want. If it's this higher caliber of life, of experience, of love, of work, it's going to be uncomfortable to get to that level. But you got to ask yourself, am I already too uncomfortable at this lower level? Am I ready for this? Am I going to rise as that lion, right? And so pay attention to that energy, guys. It feels really actually good for you. It feels like a month of growth. And yes, we have the Two of Cups there. There could be a love interest coming in, but it does feel stalled out. It feels like it's not quite ready for you for some reason, okay? Ace of Wands here. I know you're like, where's that passionate new beginning? Where is it? It's coming, okay? But there's a lot of awakenings occurring rapid fire within you and potentially this other person, or a new love opportunity coming towards you, okay? So really make sure you're really working on getting in a flow state with source, tapping in with those repeating numbers, signs, synchronicities, various things you know are divinely guided for you, okay? We hit Aquarius season on January 20th. We still have that Venus in Aquarius transit, so love is still at the forefront here, but it does feel like a lot of this work is more like internal than it is really with a partner quite yet, but that could be shifting as we exit the month. And that new moon in Aquarius hits on the 21st. And so new moon energy is typically, if you did the release work with the full moon, it is this more like loving energy, like for you. And it's really good. But yeah, just, it's like you got to get really decisive here though. Really decisive. Like that new moon feels like a good time for you to manifest very clearly those bullet points of what it is you want in love, what it is you want in your career. And like dream big, but also understand when we're dreaming big, then we got to match that frequency. We got to rise to the level with which we're calling it in. And that's a challenge at times, right? We're like, no, but I still want to just not, work nonstop, or I don't want to have to do all these difficult conversations in love, or things like that. If that's what you want, you can get it, but you better be rising, okay? You can't just keep pacing and circling. I feel like you're almost like a lion in a cage right now. And the universe is like, no, this lion's running free. It's climbing the mountain. I'm picturing like Lion King, like Pride Rock. Like you're like Simba. You're like, I know I'm going to be a lion one day, but like don't run like Simba did, okay? Simba ran. And then Nala was like, what are you doing? Get back here. You're the king. No, I'm not. Yeah, you are. Okay? You are. And you deserve energy around you that is going to rise like that you don't have to sit there and remind somebody, no, you're good enough. You're this. You do it. No. They need to be self-motivated to understand who they are because you understand who you are, right? Ace of Cups reversed. Yeah. Allow any emotions around this to pour out of you. If you have a Two of Cups situation, that romantic energy that you feel is really stalled out or you're really desiring it and you're like, why is it not here yet? Allow those emotions to pour out of you. If you have a relationship dynamic that is just not what you want it to be, allow yourself to feel into that energy, that water energy, okay? But don't get too hung up in it. It feels like you're supposed to really purge, but then take action steps forward. It really does. And it does feel too, especially those of you in female bodies, something about, like I just continue to have low back pain and like cramping, almost like a period would be as I do this reading. And so pay attention to that. This has occurred for me. It occurs for many female bodies on their, through their awakening journeys. Like if you're experiencing irregular cycles or called to shift, like birth control, things like that, like pay attention. The sun reverse, this could be an energy you really need to clear, whether this is past life energy or current sexual partner energy. I know for me, I actually had very clear when this happened for me, I wasn't having cycles at all and I was freaking out. I've talked to other people, they've had a ton of these. Like they bleed very often. And so tap in with what that might be that you're tied to and really work to clear this energy. If you need help with that, I'm happy to help you, link in bio. But you can do this on your own too. Setting intentions. I love to use tiger's blood incense. Some of you can tap in with professionals that help with like yoni steams and things like this. But this can help reset your cycle in a more natural way, in tune with like the moon cycles and things like that. But really asking yourself too, that past life energy. Like for me, I knew there was a past life where I had a really traumatic miscarriage, and I've never had a miscarriage in this life. And so I was very jarred by that. Like, wait, what? And don't doubt. I know it sounds wild, but like trust your intuition, trust what you're receiving. You're not crazy. It's okay. All right. I promise it's highly spiritual. Trust the spiritual realms. This is building new earth. You need to look to the future. Okay. And just trust that your body is healing itself. You will get in a flow state, in a natural rhythm again with where you need to be with the universal current and flow of energies, okay? But also Google, these symptoms if you're experiencing them, even if it's not a cycle issue, if it's just back pain or stomach pain, which chakra is that aligned with? Spiritual meaning of back pain, spiritual meaning of joint pain. We can look these things up. And why, yes, consult a doctor if it's bad. Absolutely. I had to consult a medical professional because I wasn't bleeding and I was worried that that was causing high iron levels, which it was. Fortunately, I was able to sort this out. But pause, for a second before you do that and really ask, am I protecting my energy? Am I around the right people, places, and things? And really work to clear out those past energies and protect your own energy. And that might help start to manifest things better in your physical body. But yeah, it's interesting how we kind of spun off there into that. I have not mentioned as many physical ailments for the other signs I already recorded. But yeah, Pisces, that seems significant for you. Tapping in with your intuition when it comes to your physical body in any way. is going to be helpful for you. Also, please know all the astrological signs are tied to various spots in our body. Pisces energy, I believe, is like the hands and things like that. So yeah, you'll have to go read more about that, okay? Go read more about that. But yeah, I know it doesn't feel just. You're like, where's that cup of love? This isn't fair. I'm a good person. What the fuck? Why does this not work for me? The universe is like, it's gonna work for you. We're gonna gift you the best love, the best career. We're gonna gift it all to you. But you got to get out of your head and you got to keep going forward, Pisces. Whatever that you're being called to, away from a connection, towards a connection, away from a certain career, towards another career. It's like one step at a time, okay? And again, that cruise control. We're letting go of this idea that life stays a certain way, and we're going to go forward and backward in tandem with spirit, where we're guided in flow state. Okay, everybody? Let's see. I feel like there's another card or two here for you. Let's see here. Yeah, have hope. Look at this. Look at this. Have hope. The Six of Cups here. I also really think there's this feeling of something in your childhood or in the past that you're heavily thinking about that you really think is done, or that you've already addressed or dealt with. And really ask yourself, have I? Have I really, really gone into stillness and meditation and really reflected on this past pain or wounding that I might be carrying from my childhood? And again, this feeling of children, maybe some of you experiencing pregnancy loss or miscarriage and things. I continue to feel this energy of the womb being very significant. And understand too, the womb is a place where it's dark as we grow, right? And then we rebirth into the light. We are birthed into the light from the darkness. So don't be afraid to go into some of those darker places where, like, maybe, you know, you think of your childhood in a certain way, and maybe it was really happy in some ways. But if you're honest with yourself, there were parts of it that were not so pretty, right? And maybe you're really blocking that out or avoiding that in some way. And so it's not about going through every little memory and like untangling all of it, but it is about saying, what is coming to the surface? What do I need to think about, right? Even coming off of this reading, if something's coming up for you, really reflecting with that and going into that womb space within all of us, just that energy metaphorically, right? Male or female body of like, I'm safe in this womb, I'm regrowing. It's like that seed underground. It starts to sprout before it sprouts upward towards the sun. And that's what's occurring for you. And so you might feel in a really dark place right now. Hold space for yourself, hold compassion, and really that mutable energy that you hold as Pisces, that cruise control coming off, allow yourself to flow forward. One day you might be feeling really like, I got this. And the next day you're like, wait a second. That's okay. All right, we're gonna stay in that. We're gonna be okay with where we're at. Okay. I love all of you. If you guys need help, link in bio for personals. I don't know why. Why do I still feel like there is something else here? What else is this, Spirit? Like, whew. Yeah. A bunny is coming in too. I don't know if someone owns a bunny or just bunny energy. Yeah, and my cat meows again. There could be something here with like your pets or seeking solace with pets, or tapping in with some type of spiritual gifts in regards to animals, okay? Don't like, Two of Pentacles reverse, like stop doubting that you're this tapped in. Stop. I think you're like, no, there's no way that's real. I know this is happening, but there's no way it's real. There's no way that like my womb and my body and animals and all of it and the universe is like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's good. And I feel like there's this sorrow and grief within you because the realization once we start to wake up that like we were not tapped in this way before and that we wasted time on connections that maybe were not meant for us is really painful to process. Allow yourself to grieve that, but also keep taking action forward. You don't want to get stuck in that depression, okay? You don't want to just stay there, okay? But all right, I think we are good. We are good. We are good. I love all of you, Pisces. I will see you back next month. Have a wonderful month of January.